So what I really want to talk about is how to have conversations with strangers, because I'm noticing a lot of you are going out there and you're talking to the same 3 people and expecting different results. Come on, Dodo. That doesn't work. So I think we need to start talking to people we don't know, all right? And I've got to tell you, this can happen anywhere. You can become the person in your neighborhood or your town or your region, whatever. You just got to talk to people. So I moved across the country. For those of you who don't know my story, I moved from Maryland to Dallas, Texas, and I didn't know anybody. I had 2 friends, Jenny and Josh, lived like 45 minutes away, but I wasn't moving for them. And they're already in business, so I couldn't recruit them. And so, I had to start new, and I had to start getting in person again, and I had to start getting to networking events, and I had to start talking to people in public. And so some tips from me to you: first of all, download Facebook Local. It's an events app via Facebook where you'll see all your networking events in the area, your travel events in the area, your pet events in the area, your parenting events in the area, your arts and crafts events, trade shows, whatever. All that stuff in your area is on Facebook Local, which I think is a super, super powerful resource. So I started going to things. I went on Facebook Local. I found networking events. I went to them. And here's tip number 1. I'm giving you a lot of tips because that was already tip number 1. I would get bracelets. So one thing that when I first started my business, I would have hair ties or bracelets on one of my wrists. And after I talked to a stranger, I would switch it to this wrist. And I had like 10 of them or 5 of them. And my goal was to get every single bracelet off this wrist and onto this wrist before I ever went home. And so you could start implementing that, like talk to the stranger, connect them to your Facebook, etc., until you have whatever your specific amount of people you want to have conversations with on your social media accomplished. So from there, here's a huge tip. Anytime I start a conversation with somebody, when I'm at a networking event or when I'm at a party or when I'm in public or when I'm at the grocery store or whatever your sponsor, upline, whatever you want to call them, is trying to tell you to do, start with a compliment. Like for me, it better be genuine. Like it better be, if you're not going to be able to give a genuine compliment, just shut up. Don't talk to that person. Find the next person, right? But give them a genuine compliment, because when you're genuinely complimented or somebody's genuinely complimenting you, instantly you're going to get a smile on the face. This is obviously a big deal, right? So they're going to smile, they're going to feel more open, more welcome, more inviting, more whatever. And that's huge, right? People want to be liked. People want to be spoken to like that. And so from there you have an opening. Then they usually try to compliment you back. Then you can have some small talk. I'm not talking business at all, guys. From here, I generally say something like I usually break the pattern really quickly, 45 seconds, 2 minutes in. And I just say, hey, I'm actually in a rush. I really enjoyed this conversation. Do you happen to have social media? This is super easy at networking events. So especially if you go to some kind of networking thing in your area, get to know your area, whatever, you can easily connect them to your Facebook, to your Instagram, to your LinkedIn, to your TikTok, to your YouTube, to whatever. And you can connect them wherever, right? That is massive. All you have to do is talk to people. Start doing embarrassing things. And this might sound weird to you, but make an Instagram story, right? Make an Instagram story, an Instagram video in a car, in an Uber, on the street, in the grocery, in whatever. And when somebody says something like, what, were you doing an Instagram? Yeah, I'm sorry, I was making an Instagram story. And then you can say, hey, do you have Instagram? Like, you guys are making this so much more complicated because you're being a weirdo. It's not that other people are weirdos, it's that you're being a weirdo. Talking to strangers is so important because if you have conversations with strangers, you can build relationships with strangers and strangers become friends. Ultimately, just like kind of a statistic, but not a statistic, I guess. I look at my business right now, 250,000 customers, 6,000 reps, whatever it is. And if I look at how many people I knew before I ever started the direct sales network marketing profession 9 years ago, it's 2. I knew 2 of these people, and one's my cousin. So don't think you need to have a big following. You just need to have a big work ethic. And there's a difference. So if you like this video, if you got value from that, if you have some tips now on how to talk to strangers in public and communicate with people, awesome. Make sure you subscribe for sure. And if you want to watch more videos and check out what I'm doing, this is a really good one. Check it out.